having problems today. This company comes in and they be like, no, they brought another company aboard. Then it's like they're going to make three companies work on it. So they still have this problem with which company is actually the one leading, um, like the rigging of the oil in Ghana. But then, apart from that, they don't. Ghana is like we late on oil, even though we have the oil. We are
Yeah,
late.
yeah. Well, you guys got Nigeria next door that just trumps you. See, that's your guys' problem with two industries, oil and fucking cocoa. Because you got Cote d'Ivory, which is next door, that destroys you on cocoa, and then you got oil from Nigeria that destroys you on oil. But then it's even worse because Nigerians speak English too, so it kind of negates Ghana all the way. You know what I mean? They kind of trump you because they speak English. They're a bigger economy, and there's more money over there.
Hmm? So it's making Ghana's oil no news.
Hmm. Yeah, nah, nigga. I still think the way we generate the fastest amount of money, the fastest, is you keep doing what you're doing and learn those fucking books. Cause you learn those books and we start talking about those books, you know that I have that same class where I'm just talking it, right? Kind of how I'm doing right now. We sell the book for like $20 and sell the class for 100, and then each one that you sell, I mean, I gotta set it all up. Then you make $50. Now it doesn't sound like a lot until you have a following of people, and there's 7 books that you can sell. You know what I mean? Then you're making $350 per person. And then how many
That's
people are in Ghana? Millions.
about 30 million.
My point exactly. And then if we start promoting it with the music and shit, then it's on like Donkey Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone will have that link. Because the number one thing right now, well, my job right now is I got to create as much content as possible. So that's what I'm doing. Is I'm creating the content. I'm fucking, the books and all this shit. Once I got that done, then we have our platform to make money. It's done. We're behind. Well, kind of. And I mean, fuck, dude, it's a shit ton. It's a lot. It is a lot. It's simple, but it's not easy to do it. So
That's
I'm
not
going,
easy.
but like little by little, the biggest thing, if I can secure this loan, oh my goodness, that's lovely. That would be lovely, because that allows us to actually do some shit. Because I'm not sold on Ghana, just because you guys are still far behind. However, fucking Cambodia and Southeast Asia, their fucking currencies are like this against the dollar. They don't, you know what I mean? That's stable. I want to go there. And some countries you can go to. I say Asia's still a place to go.
Southeast Asia.
Mm-hmm. Unless you want to try Nigeria, but I don't really want to go to Nigeria. Like you guys are kind of, don't take this the wrong way. Not luxury. Let's just put it like that. It's not luxury in Africa compared to
Mm-hmm.
like China, or not even China. Like let's put it like here's the best way to put it. In South Korea, there's robots in the airport. Are there any robots in what the fuck?
I don't know.
so so without trying to be mean or anything, I think that you understand what I'm talking about. I mean, there's no robots in Africa yet. You know what I'm saying? There's no robots in America either. That's why I want to go where the robots are, because that's where the money's gonna be. Like they're way more advanced, just more advanced in everything. You know what I mean? So that's where, to me, it makes the most sense.
That's true.
So tell me more, my nigga. Tell me what else is going on.
Like, what else going on
Mm-hmm.
with?
No, I mean it's weird. I'm not having to yell at you, right?
Yeah, what's the reason for you yelling? That's the reason you're
I mean,
telling.
fuck, you've accomplished something. You're moving forward. I don't have to go through the same shit. I don't have to have the 30-minute of me yelling and screaming at you for fucking Joe. God damn it, just do something. Get something done. Just start something. Just do something. I want to hear your excuses. I don't know more excuses. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to go through that right now. You know what I'm saying?
Past that level.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, when I wake up, the first thing that my brain tells me to take a shit, right? Right after I take a shit, I sit on my seat where I read and I write, and automatically, like, I just go to the web page and then start reading on the book, and then I start writing down. So it's becoming like a habit, right? So when this becomes a habit, then you should know that then I don't have a problem, because what do I have to do? The same shit you're doing. Maybe you have other things doing, but then to read and to write shouldn't be a problem. Once I have internet, I have my PC, I have access to the world, right? So I can just wake up, sit down, and then start reading, writing, putting down something, trying to create content. But before then, before I can create my content that's going to make a lot of sense, I would have to go through what you have already done, or what you have been through. That's not that's who's in the room, right? Exactly. I got to focus on that first, and if I go through what you have already been through, then whatever you say or whatever you tell me, I already have an idea. It doesn't sound like, what is this guy talking about? No. Once I read most of what you've written, then once you start talking, I know where it's gonna end. So I'd be like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. But then when I don't read it, you always sound new, or you always sound like some kind of imagination, right?
Like you're learning something brand new every time I talk.
Exactly. But then when I read, like with the 10 things I learned from Tyler Perry, with just with these few topics that I have in my mind, right? Like I feel like I've accomplished something. It motivates me to learn more.
No, well,
If I had the,
exactly. And we can have a better conversation.
because even when I'm talking and I forget, I know I have my written notes, right? So in a conversation, I could just be going through my written notes and then be talking, and then you're still going to know that, yeah, from how I'm talking, I've been through it. Or that's exactly what you said. Like you can easily tell whether I've been through it from how I talk or not, right?
Well,
It's
yeah, I
that
can
easy.
because you know how simple it is. Because in this conversation, you have referenced the book 4 times, 3 or 4 times, in different parts of the book. It's not out all from one chapter. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I can tell that you're reading it. I don't know if you've read every word, but I know that you've picked. I can tell that you've picked it up because of how you're talking. One, and the words that you're using, because you're using the book in your conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? You're like, oh, that's forgetting who's in the room, right? If you hadn't read it and you just looked it over, and then you would never say, oh, that's that. Oh, that's that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's fucking obvious when someone's read something or not. It's like in school. They probably like, yeah, dumb fuck, you didn't read it. How did he know I didn't read it? Because
That's
he asked you a simple fucking question, he had no idea. You know what I'm saying?
I had no fucking idea. That's for real, nigga. I'm trying to capture some value. You should get that.
Yeah.
I need that.
This is from Las Vegas. I think I already showed you this.
Wow. It looks green. It looks green.
Yeah, it's green and fluffy, man. Look.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Like
not the brickweed that we had from Africa.
that big brick shit, like my
Mm-hmm.
iPad. couldn't even,
Grab a handful.
he couldn't even smoke.
But it worked, man. The only problem is we couldn't bring it on the airplane, so it was kind of pointless.
That,
It would have been nice if we had that at the hotel.
exactly. Just in my, we were just gonna get high and then just get shit done. But
Hell yeah, dog.
I love
This is working. I'm fucking happy with you right now, man. It's good shit.
that, like, the greatest thing that happened from, I think, 2014 till 2021 is 2014 and 2019. These are the two greatest years for me because I learned a lot in 2014. I got to meet a lot of people like Aisha, Aima, all of those people. And in 2019, we had to make the travel, right? Going to Takoradi, going to the mines. So 2019 and 2014 are two very significant years in my life, right? And
Yeah.
2021 is going to be because this year, what I'm particular about is capturing value, right? Value. I don't fucking want to lose value, and I'm trying to capture as much as I can,
Okay, you want to
right?
know how I can tell that you read some of the book? Is because old Joe would not be fucking talking like using words like I'm trying to capture value, right? You would never you never you don't talk like that. You know what I'm saying? You would have been trying to figure out what value is and not understanding what I'm saying. It's like, Joe, you need to create value. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Joe, you need to do something. I do shit, Eric. You're making me feel like I'm worthless. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying you need to create value. See, this is how I can tell that you've read the book because you're saying I just trying to create value and not lose the value. You see how I can tell that you've read some of the book?
I've read most of it. It's actually making a lot of sense and it's making a lot of change, right? So I was like, fuck it. Why would I sit down there and then be reading the books? Like I don't have to make money off it, no, because what I actually learned from just this book is worth more than me being paid for what? I don't know. I don't know. Even if I was paid to read the book, I would have valued the book more than how much I would have been paid for reading it. Because I've really learned a lot. I won't lie to you. I've learned like the little that I've even been able to capture in my brain. It's making a lot of things. It's making me see things differently. Like today around 4 a.m. Like yesterday, I couldn't eat the whole day. So around 4 a.m., I was very hungry, and I haven't been out of my bedroom for like 2 days. So I walked to Zongo Junction, and then something just told me to walk down to the trap, right? Like the Reach Junction where we went, and then someone was on the snooker table. So right when I got there, and then I saw like a lot of these Zongo boys seated at different bars with music being played, them holding their iPhones, spending money buying drinks. Like it felt different. I used to feel like a member, right? But like I felt like where am I? Like when Jesus Christ got into the church and then they were selling, right? He had to whip them and then sack everybody. So like I was like, what the fuck? Niggas just sitting here wasting all their time. Like I now realize how much time I've wasted like over the past 10 years. So I see these kids sit down and then waste time buying drinks, smoking hashish, buying weed, listening to hip hop, trying to let everybody know, yeah, we. I was working with one and I had to go buy food, right? So I had to go with him. He said he wanted to eat, but we weren't going home together. We were going two separate ways. But then I was trying to say some things to him, and they won't even sync. Whatever I say to him makes so much sense. I give him examples, but they just don't think because they have not decided, they have not given their minds the chance to for those things to sink. Like that's like what was happening with Joe and Eric. Like it was always going to be like an argument rather than a conversation, right? Because Joe would always want to argue with excuses and all that. Same with this guy I was working with. So I was talking about what his age was. He's 23, I'm 32, right? So I'm like 9 years older than he is. So I asked him if in the next 9 years I should be able to accomplish something like then maybe I point a car, right? Like in the next 9 years, if I'm able to accomplish this car, and he is 23 years now, he doesn't have as much as I have on my mind. He hasn't been through a lot of shit that I have been through. If he wants to sacrifice 9 years and I want to sacrifice 9 years, I ask him who's going to accomplish more, and he thinks I am going to accomplish more when I know he should be able to accomplish more because he's younger. He's not been through a whole lot of bullshit I've been through. If he gives himself time and space, he should be able to accomplish more in 9 years than I should because I have a kid. He doesn't have a kid. I have worked. I have assignments that I have been assigned to. He hasn't. He doesn't have any shit like that. Like he doesn't have anybody to prove right or wrong for now. So if he wants to accomplish it, but then, like I'm saying, it wasn't making any sense to him. All what he was thinking of is like they call it here. They call it the book long shit. Like trying to be the lawyer. Like the book. They're trying to be the book type. Like you have the book brain or something. But then they don't know it's just the same shit, same world we're living in. Like they don't see me on the streets any longer. And like today, a couple of niggas from in there like, yo, Chelaya, where have you been? Like it's been a couple of days. I don't see you on the streets of today. I don't see you around. I just be like, oh, I'm indoors. I don't go anywhere. And they don't believe it. They think maybe I'm somewhere else spending money or I went somewhere. They don't believe the fact that I can stay at home and then not come out. From the beginning, this shit was hard for me, right? But then I actually learned it from who's in the room, and that's Eric Johnson. Because I'm like, how can he stay in his house? He has cars. He can drive anywhere he wants to. He has all these books. He has money. He has everything. But nigga ain't going nowhere. He's staying indoors getting shit accomplished. So what can I do same? I don't have a car to go out. I don't have money to go and spend. So what the fuck am I doing outside? Do you get my point?
Completely.
Exactly. They in the same situation don't have a reason to be out there. Because think of it like this: if I sat in a room for just 1 hour or 2 hours and then read through a book and then put on some lines or points, and before I went to the streets, right, and they sat down there right from the evening till morning, I still have accomplished something they've not. Because what they do is they just sit out there drinking, smoking, trying to scam online, sitting down, just pressing their phones, and then before you realize they just pass out. Maybe you wake up, your phone is gone. You don't even know who took it. Meanwhile, your friends are still sitting right around you. And there was this nigga that fucking motivated me. He's someone I knew. Let me say like 7 years ago, he had a BMX6, he had a Kia 4x4, he had money. He's a Nigerian. He was called Chief. Like Nigerians like titles. When you have money, King, Chief, Igwe, what? Titles.
Prince.
Yes, Prince. You get it. They like titles. So, like, he was called Chief. He's a young guy. He's like, let's say 36, 37. Like, somewhere your age, right? And he used to be one of the biggest shots in Medina. Everybody was calling him Chief, Chief, Chief. Then he gives you $100 tip. He gives you 200. He has given me the $100 bills more than like once or twice or thrice. But now he's a serious cocaine addict who ain't got shit. He doesn't have anything, right? But then I was sitting with him today when I went on street. I was just sitting with him, and then he was telling people that he was rather trying to talk about me, make me look like a big person. When I was sitting there looking at him, being like 7 years or 5 years ago, this nigga was one of the top shots in Medina. Today, saying here looking as dirty as a rag. He doesn't have shit. And then he was sitting there telling people, hey, do they know me? I'm a big boy. I'm a musician. I'm a superstar. I'm a superstar. He was hyping me. So I was like, just look at this. I'm sitting down here with someone who 7 years ago was like the top shot, right? And then today he's nothing. So that was where I got to realize what you were saying. When he had all that money, what he would do is come and sit on the street. He wasn't creating no intellectual property. He wasn't creating no content. He wasn't doing shit. He made money from scam, and then he had a name. And then for who knows how he got into the drug, I don't fucking know. But then I sit with him and I ask myself, first, you can't get close to Chief. Like if I want to come to him, I have to go through niggas to get to him. So people who don't know him on the streets today see him and then they see him like just some dirty madman. So I tried, like, we were sitting down and then someone was threatening him. And I was like, hey, do you know who Chief is? So that's when I realized what life is. Like, when you were like, do I want to fly along when you're flying, or I would want to tell people that I have a nigga who has a flight, right? Does it make sense? Me flying, like Eric being like, yo, Joe, you gotta move your airplane. I'm moving my airplane. We go into this country or that country. Or would I wanna be like, or Eric, you gotta pick I gotta meet you at the airport. I gotta join your flight. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like now when I read the book, when I think about what we discuss when we talk, and then I think about the environments and some people that I meet, sometimes I feel like I don't deserve some people in my life. I don't. There's no reason why I should even be there around that time, because from the beginning, if I got there and I saw my niggas, there was this kind of excitement. Like, yeah, I'm back. It's like being in a club, right? But now I get there and I be like, what the fuck is this? Where am I? It's like this, like a world of a waste of time. Like seeing everybody sitting down for like 5 hours, 6 hours doing nothing, drinking, smoking, and I'm like, nah, this is not
The
my life.
key point: doing nothing. But the
Nothing.
problem is they think that they're busy. They're very busy doing nothing.
Exactly. That's how they think. Why? Because they are up, they are awake, so they think they are busy, right? But basically, they ain't doing shit.
You know, like I think I told you this before. Do you know? Like, just think of this. You have the smartest people in the world creating this. They understand addiction better than anybody else. What do you think that they create things for you to be addicted to?
Exactly.
So not only are they drinking, smoking, they're on the most addictive tool
Phone.
created since fucking sugar. Cuz this gives them whatever, cuz you can scroll for 10 hours and be exhausted and think that you did something, but you did absolutely nothing. You just did this for 10 fucking hours. But
Exactly.
your mind was stimulated. Boom, 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 boom. So you, at the end of the day, you think that you got something accomplished, but in all actuality, you did absolutely fucking nothing.
I see it. I see it now. Like now, like my own niggas that I used to work with, right? Like when I got to the street this morning, like that there are people I fuck with. Like when I come around, they're the first people I talk with. If I'm going to work with somebody, I work with them. Like today, they I don't know, they felt like I was giving them attitude, right? But it wasn't that I was giving them attitude. Like I have now come to realize that they mean nothing to me. They bring me no value. Like that's that's it. I don't know what I gain from making friends with them, because I now it's like there was this rubber on my eyes and then the rubber is off, or maybe I was wearing some shades and I've taken the shades off, because I see the difference. Like for right now, I see the difference. I be like, no, nigga, what I'm thinking right now is different from what you're thinking. We can't sit on the same table, because what will make you laugh won't make me laugh, right? What will make you pay attention won't grab my attention. So my own niggas were feeling like maybe some think maybe I've made some money or I've gotten some money and that's why I'm behaving that way or something. But then it's not about the money or what they think. On my side, I know what my goal is, because I have this September goal they don't know about.
And it's coming pretty fucking fast, nigga.
It's fast. Like it's now it rings a bell in my mind. Like it's been on the wall since I wrote it. So now it's not
Damn
about it.
near seven, like eight, since the beginning of the year.
Yeah. So right now, when I get into my room, or even when I see my door, like it comes into my mind. When I'm stepping outside my room, it's in my mind. So now, and then the closer I get to September, the more it rings a bell in my ear. So when I get close to you and I see that you have nothing to add to my goal in achieving what I have to be, where I have to be, or what I have to be doing in September, then you don't need to be in my life. So
Well,
that's
it's
how come.
also then also think of this. Now that you're starting to have a transition, imagine how much time you wasted in the beginning of the year.
Exactly. I feel I.
If you had this attitude in January, I bet you wouldn't even be in Africa right now.
Uh-huh,
You'd probably already be somewhere waiting on me.
uh-huh.
Cuz just think of in it's been about a month. Look how much your mind has changed in 1 month, right? Matter of
Mm-hmm.
fact, I can damn near. Well, I don't want to do it right now because it'll fuck up because I'm recording this. But I could show you our last recording, right? Because I
Oh,
recorded it to Joe now. Oh, I can't wait to show you. It's two different people, two completely different people. The last Joe still wouldn't want to listen. You were right all the fucking time. You just you it's, here's my brother has this issue right now. The excuses. He keeps
uh-huh.
blaming everybody else for why he is, right? But it's deep how it's like how you were. It's very deep because he doesn't understand what an excuse is, right? And it's kind of the same how you didn't understand, like you're, and because we talked about it, an excuse is all an excuse is excusing you out of something, right?
Excuse.
He doesn't. He's still on the. My life was so hard. This is why I can't, right? And be like, nah, nigga. The reason you can't is because you just said you can't. You had an excuse on why you can't do something, but in all actuality, you can do it, right? So he's little by little, but again, he's still at the he just won't read the book, and it's fascinating. It's fascinating. It really is because you're gonna have the same problem. You're gonna read this book. You've read it. Just like okay, try to convince one of your friends from Zonga to read it.
It's going to be as hard as hell. That's why. That's what I was telling you. Like when I went on the streets, what happened? It's going to be as. Cause if I talk about a book, they're going to be like, "Nigga, this is the streets. If you think you want to have that book mind, you can go to the high courts, or you can go to the University of." You get what I'm saying? Like they they are niggas who don't know that once what they have in their mind is once they're on the streets, they don't have anything to do with the book.
Yeah, but then little do you know, no matter how much you tell them, like, look, dog, this book will fucking help you in every fucking thing. Whatever you want to do, it's gonna help you. Man, I don't want that type of life. What? It's gonna help you. Man, you don't know nothing about me. No, it's going
Man,
to help whatever it is that you want. It's gonna help. They won't listen.
they're going to find the sweetest excuses for why they cannot do it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to give the nicest excuses, the sexiest excuses you've ever had why they cannot do something. And if you listen to how sexy, how nice their excuses are, you would realize in there that they can do what they are telling you they cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can. One thing is they are not the pen and paper type, right? Because most of them grew up with the phone, with a smartphone. They didn't go to school too much, and then but with the little time they spent in school, they're able to type on their phones and do everything, use every app, right? And then they know there's a Siri you can talk, and then the phone types. They know all. They use all this for other things, But then, if you should tell them to read a book with or to write down something with all these things that they already have, you're still going to find an excuse for you.
Exactly. And little and hey man, you have given me and how many times you hear me say this to you? Joe, if you would just do it instead of trying to think of every excuse on why you could not do it, it would already be done.
Because the amount of time and energy you put into the excuse that you cannot do it, you could have put that same amount of time and energy into the excuse that you could have done it and you would have done it.
At least you would have been halfway done. Then you could be then you could bitch about being halfway done. But goddamn, at least you've already started. But you'd be surprised at how many people spend. You'd be surprised at how many people spend all their time trying to come up with an excuse on why they can't do this and why they can't do this, why their life is so much harder than everybody else's. But instead, nigga, just do it. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn.
Nike.
Thank you. Just do it. It's like D1 says this. D1 a nice thing. He's like, you know what, Eric? Because with working out, right? At first, he didn't believe me that I could work out. This is years ago. This is like 7 years ago. Then that, like he would argue every fucking thing. But then after about a good month, he started seeing the differences. And so we have this thing. It's like, just shut the fuck up and listen. He's like, Eric, you always say, just shut the fuck up and listen.
And you know one like great feeling, like one of the greatest feelings, like coming out of something and then watching the niggas who are living in that same thing you came out of. It's a fucking great feeling. Like since I stopped going on the streets, from the very beginning, it used to be an everyday life. Every day you got to be on the streets throughout the day, throughout the night. So when I stopped doing this street life, whenever I go pass by or I just go to the street to see what's going on, I feel like, oh really? So is this what I was doing? So that's sitting in the midst of these niggas all day, smoking, drinking. Nah, man, it don't make sense to me. But then the feeling of being out of it is the greatness. I don't know if you get what
No,
I'm trying
I
to say.
get it. I get it. No, that's good shit. Cause it's accomplished. It's you conquered a mountain.
Exactly. Like standing there knowing that every one of those niggas sitting there are your niggas, but then you are no longer part of the sitting. It's a different feeling. Because it's not that easy to convince yourself to come out of it until you really want to. Because like I'm saying, there are other niggas sitting on the street who are even way better than me, who have even had a better education, have gone to the universities. But they're all sitting there waiting, like they don't have the vehicle to do what? To move their shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the right vehicles. Like they're waiting. They want someone to always give them a helping hand with something. Yeah. I know I finished the university, but I'm waiting on my uncle to see if they're going to take me at the airport. And yeah, I finished school, but I'm waiting on my sister. She said she's going to try and make some calls, and she can get me a work. Whilst they see vacancy posters everywhere every day,
Mm-hmm.
they won't try the posters. They would want to wait on someone to make calls for them to get a job that suits them.
And that, I
Yeah.
mean, man, that it's really hard to get out of that shit, man. Out
Yeah.
of being a baby. Oh man, it's hard to because it's so much easier. You know what I'm saying? To have someone else do it for you. But
Yeah.
man, oh man, it is to break out of that is a difficult fucking thing.
Very,
Nah, fuck
very.
yeah,
So
nigga. This is some good shit, nigga. I'm fucking I'm very happy with you. I'm very happy with you. You sound like you're happier too.
hmm no, I like it because I know it's not something. that's beyond what I can do. Just reading a book, I don't think I would have to kill a cow or to survive something to read a book. I don't know what will stand in my way just to read a book. Like I've not been asked to create an airplane. I've not been asked to come up with a car. I've not been given any work just to read a book. If you know, that's why sometimes they say you never know what you have until you lose it, or you never know what you have until it's too late. Because that's what you're sitting there saying. If I had this same attitude towards reading and doing what you asked me to do since January, right? Imagine what I would have accomplished by now. If I
Imagine
had
the
this same,
conversations we would be having right now.
so I don't have a second to waste this time around. Like I have the love for it, like the passion for it is in. I don't need to be forced. I don't need, it's it's even in the book, like doing things the first time that they come up instead of like an excuse or trying to say, okay, like niggas that listen the first time and niggas that have to listen 9 times, right?
I think that's what really got you fucking excited is the learning 9 times faster.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's easy. It's that easy. I don't know.
Well, it makes sense because people don't listen, man. They don't listen for shit. But
The one thing I realized about, I don't know if it's God, if it's nature or what, but one organ that we don't have control of is the ear. The ear is always open. No one has control of it. When you are there and something is said, you hear it. But that's one of the biggest problems people have, listening. Even though the ear is always open and every shit is going in, listening is a problem for a lot of people. The ears are open, but the mind is not there. So
listen to that.
listening is about.
That's some wisdom right there. Good shit, Joe. Look at you. Fucking you look at you. You know, having you're a little philosopher now.
Oh, it makes sense.
Nah, this
Except
is
you don't want to listen.
beautiful, nigga. Like I'm liking it. You're starting. I'm trying to tell you. I'm gonna show you the difference, man. Well, you can just imagine the difference. Just think, man. In 2019, you say it was a very important year, but remember, 2019, you were like the pivotal point of that year is when I yelled and screamed, or I took the video of you fucking passed out in the middle of the fucking day.
That used to be the lifestyle I used to live. Like it wasn't only on that day, but then that day made a difference. Cause the difference is me not knowing you were making the video.
No shit, you were
If I
asleep.
Yeah, if I knew you were making the video, it wouldn't have been even if I had opened my eye and then seen you making the video, it wouldn't have been anything convincing. But waking up to a surprise like that, I was like, damn. So if I was sitting here with Eric and then some investors came in with some business opportunity, I missed it. I missed it for sleep, for
Mm.
passing out. So like it pushed me so much. But then I knew it was not going to be something I could just turn within a day. It was going to take time. But then I always remember the video and I'd be like, what the fuck? I don't even know what I missed. For all I know, maybe when I was asleep, you were sharing $10,000 to each person that came close to you, and I was the closest person, and I was asleep.
And not just sleep. You were not waking up.
I wasn't. I wasn't. Oh my
You
god.
were done. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those.
Yeah, I have another one of it. I'll show you. Like, that was somewhere early this year, right? When I was quite frustrated about how I was going to do things. I don't have a PC. My phone is broken. I got to do this. When I was in the excuse world, right? So when most of the times when you're in this kind of situation, depressed or feeling that having these kind of feelings, you would want to take some lean or some pills and then pass out just to forget the problems. Forgetting that right when you wake up, the problems are going to knock first. Right?
Right.
Exactly. Like right when you wake up, the first thing that knocks you is the same problem that made you take the pill or the lane to pass out. So I went to the streets. I was sitting with my friends, and then like they were on lean, and then they mixed it, and I took some, right? And then my closest nigga to me, who I am worth more than, like, I don't know how he can compare himself to me. I am way better than he is in everything. But then he sat down, and when I was passing out, he took a video of me, and I wasn't when he showed me the video later. When he sent the video to me, I should have been angry, right? I should have been mad at him. Like, why should he take a video of me when I was passing out? At least he's my nigga. He shouldn't do that. Someone else should do that, and then he tells the person not to do that. But then, do you know how I felt? I felt like that's Eric Johnson's spirit right there, sitting next to you. Nigga, it was like the same shit that happened at there. I'll send the video to you. I'll send it to you now so that you see what I'm talking about. I was like,
I can see it in my head, and I can see your reaction, because Eric Johnson was talking to you.
Yeah, it was the same. Like I was sitting there and I was going like my head was just swinging, and I just went boom. So I was like, shit, the same thing Eric did to you and kicked you back up, and then now Eric is not around. You still want to fuck yourself up. I'm like, nah, man, shit ain't going to work. I will do whatever to get this video. I need to have this video for you.
No, I mean, shit. Send it to me. Send it to me after. Cause I can see the video.
Yeah.
I know I can envision the video.
Are you sure?
Yeah, man. Because I've watched you. You know what I'm saying? I know exactly what it is. Head bobbing and weaving, and then all of a sudden, the kaboom. You know what I mean? I've been there before too, and then I mean, man. If you had met me in my younger 20s, dog, you would be like, who the fuck is this person right now?
Mm-hmm.
I was a plum alcoholic, man. I was bad. After I met my before I got like alcohol became like an everyday thing because it was cheaper to drink alcohol than it was to drink a soda, right? Because I could get a Mickey's 24 for like $1.49, and a soda in California was $1.79, right? So it was cheaper to buy the beer, and then you also got full with the beer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So then, by the time when I turned 22, because there's times I was fucking homeless, man. Like the grocery store was like how I survived. We'd steal every day to eat. You know what I'm saying? Me and my buddy had our routine, you know what I'm saying, and how to get breakfast, lunch, and dinner out of the grocery store. Like for fucking 2 months we didn't have any money, right? But we survived on like stealing from the grocery store. Terrible, but yeah. When I met my biological family, right? And then the emotional bullshit that came along with that, right? Now just imagine, your whole life you thought about these fictitious people, right? Your mom and dad died. Now, this magical family of mine where people look like me, right? And then I meet them, and that's not what happened. Not at all, dog. The first little bit, right? You would think like you'd come back to like love, right? Can you hear me? Hello? You there?
Yeah, there was a call coming through. I didn't want to pick up.
Oh, so where did you not hear me?
Where you get to know your parents, your biological parents.
Yeah. Okay. So when I met them, you know that no one knew I was alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because my biological mom and dad told everybody I died at birth.
Yeah.
Right? So when I came back, it wasn't like the trumpets were playing and everyone was like, oh, we miss you. We love you. It was more like, who the fuck are you? Right? And then it was worse because then I had cash. So then they immediately thought I came back like I'm Jesus and shit and supposed to pay for like just I'm the savior of everybody, right? So then now everyone just wants to be around me because I have money. So I first had to like fuck off. Then the only two people that ever really loved me, my mom and dad, I have to defend them to my biological mom's sister because she's calling me. I'm because she, she's hurting and she's angry or whatever of the situation that she was lied to. And I mean, I could understand it. She buried me, you know what I'm saying, 22 years before. Like, she's paid for the money for me to have a funeral. So I could understand why she's frustrated, but she was taking it out on me and saying that my mom and dad manipulated my biological mom, that I was just a science experiment, like all this fucked up shit, right? And so my path, I went down to alcohol. And I mean, I was a plumb alcoholic, man. I didn't know how to deal with my emotions and my problems. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So then, so I understand, and that's, I mean, I got ended up getting 3 DUIs, man. I got a DUI in California. I was so drunk that I mooned, like, when they take you to jail, right? And they take a picture. Well, I bent over and mooned them and said, "Take a picture of this," right? Swear to God, like, it was written. My lawyer looked at me like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, I was drunk, right? Just to give you an idea of, I was a fucking wild one, dude. Think about, like, okay, in the book when I was 19, when I'm going back and forth from Kentucky, I'm pulling pistols on people and shit. I'm fucking wild, right? Wild. And then fucking, dude, this is when in California they're getting out of the fucking car and dancing by the car while the car's moving, right? Ghost riding the whip. So that was my mentality. So I'm shitty drunk, and I jump out the car and start dancing by the car while the car's moving. You know what I'm saying? That's just to give you an idea of how wild I was, right? Just straight up
Yes.
fucking stupid, right? Just no sense. And then I was emotionally all fucked up, and so now it just got worse. Like, my alcoholism was terrible. Then it was really my second DUI in North Carolina.